are you actually too busy to get a result?
Do the thing that you've been saying that you want to do.
This one's going to be ranty.
Yeah, let's say you've got a 12-week stint. In my mind, there's two options here. There's either use that as an excuse. It's not a reason, it's an excuse. That's all it is. You're looking more out of shape, more unhappy, hate the way you look even further. The other option is, on the days where you can be in control, which is still going to be the vast majority of them, are you going to be in a better position in 12 weeks through having 5 days dialed in, 2 days enjoying yourself, than you would be if you just had 7 days a week doing fuck all?
I don't want to be a dick, but for those 3 months that you're waiting to start, are you still going to be eating? Are you still going to train? Right. So why can't you just adjust those targets a little bit to be more specific to the goal that you want and just work around the events that are coming up? Is 70% consistency better than 0%?
I stopped whatever I was doing. I can't remember what I was doing, but I just fucking legged it out of the house. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, there's a Charizard. I'm like fucking running through Urmston.
8 o'clock in the morning, I'll have fish and a rice cake.
All right, welcome back. Fish and a rice cake.
Fish and a rice cake.
I'm Jake.
I'm Jake.
Yep, back again for some sciencey.
Sciencey.
Non-sciencey.
Oh, sciencey.
Non-sciencey.
On people.
Well, should we have a science? We'll throw a curveball one week. We'll throw a science-based one
Get
in
some
there.
studies up.
Yeah. I'll wear a lab coat and everything. Have a whiteboard.
Makes you more
it sciencey.
professional.
It does.
Makes you more professional.
No, some non-sciencey, sometimes ranty, fitness and training advice.
Non-sciencey, probably always ranty.
Probably always.
Probably more ranty.
This one's going to be ranty.
Yeah, this one is going to be ranty.
Fitness and training advice, try and help you wade through the crock of shit fitness advice that's out there and hopefully help you get a bit of a result for whatever that means for you.
Absolutely.
So we'll do our best, like usual. A bang average podcast.
Yep. With the old, I'd like to think there's the odd nugget in there that people can take away, but
maybe so. That's not for us to say.
Yeah.
But there is.
That's for the one listener.
But no, we're good. How are you? You going away?
I am going on holiday
this afternoon? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning?
Yeah, so it's nothing like crazy. We're just going to Cornwall for the week. But
I love Cornwall though. We used to go every year as a family, like when I was younger with my family.
Yeah, we go every year. It's really nice. Like we just stay outside of Tintagel.
Right, yeah.
Arthur.
Yeah.
But it's about 10-15 minutes outside of there. So it's kind of in the middle of nowhere really where we are, which is really nice and peaceful. But now I'm looking forward to it. It's just the worst bit about it now is the drive. I mean, the drive's always bad anyway, but because we've got Thea, it's like trying to entertain her for 6 hours on the way down there or whatever is just not fun in the slightest. So that's the bit I'm not looking for.
Do you do all the driving?
I will probably do all the driving.
Does Louise sit in the front or the back of the car then?
She'll start in the front.
Yeah.
And then she'll probably have to go in the back at some point and entertain Thea.
Yeah.
We'll just have to do it.
What time do you set off?
So we're going to set off about 8 in the morning.
Okay.
There's kind of method to this. So thinking it's going to take, like I said, probably about 4.5, 5 hours, depending on traffic. So set off about 8. Hopefully we'll get the biggest stint done down till about 11, half 11. Stop at Gloucester Services.
Fucking love Gloucester Services.
How good are they?
Yeah, well, it's a partnership one with T-Bay, isn't it?
Yeah,
in the lakes.
Yeah, it's
they're
amazing.
like a full-on farm shop.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Love it. So, like, whenever we go to Cornwall, it's
always
like,
a stop.
Gloucester.
Yeah.
So stop at Gloucester Services, have some food because the food's amazing there. It is the best. If you've never been to Gloucester Services, you're missing out. I'm telling you.
It is very. Me and Soph went down to Exeter last year because that's where her grandparents live, and we'll always stop at Gloucester Services when we go down.
So we've already mapped out. So we'll stop there, have a bit of food. Then she usually has a nap about 12. So the idea is have like an hour there. Like, it's even got like a dog walking field. So you can get your dog out and take your dog for a walk.
Does it? See, we had Baloo with us last time. Yeah. I didn't know that.
I took Jarvis for a walk.
Oh, brilliant.
It's class, honestly. It's so good. Have some food. Hopefully she'll nap them for ideally 2 hours, but unlikely in the car. So maybe more like an hour. And then fingers crossed by that point, we're not too far away. So yeah.
So we used to, when we used to go as kids, we'd set off at like 3 in the morning, something like that. So my dad would always do the driving, my mum would navigate, because this was as well pretty much for days before even sat nav. So it'd be printing off the AA guide the night before, and my mum would be doing the directions. And actually, that was probably the only time we ever saw my mum and dad like properly argue, if they ever did, was when they took a wrong direction. That'll be what triggered it. Like, apart from that, they genuinely, growing up, very rarely ever see them argue at all. But no, so we used to set off at like 3 in the morning.
See, I would do that. I said to Louise, I would, because I got...
Because then you get there for like nice 10,
then you've
9, 10
pretty much
a.m.
got the whole day, I would much prefer to go earlier, but with Thea, it's just difficult. Plus, Louise is shocking in the morning. Like, trying to get her out of the house at that time would just not happen, trust me.
See, what me and my brothers used to do, we try and stay up late which very rarely happened, but we'd try stay up late and then sleep in the car. But we'd all have like a Nintendo each, and we'd start like a new file on Pokemon. We'd all like race for the drive down. It'd be like, right, who can get as far as possible in the game for the drive down.
How good was Pokemon?
Fucking so good.
On the Nintendo, it was so good. Like that, the amount of hours I spent on that.
So many hours.
It was amazing, but it was just was it Pokemon Gold? There was Red and Blue. Then it went.
There was
like
Red
Gold.
and Blue. Then Yellow was like a special edition. It was the first one where like Pikachu followed you around on the game.
Yeah, that was the one.
Never had that one, but I'd seen it. And then then it was Gold and Silver.
Gold and Silver. And then they went even further than that. But
they did. I think they did like Fire Red after that, which was like a remastered version of the original.
Yeah.
Then they had like Sapphire and Ruby.
Yeah.
And then was it Pearl and Diamond?
Not sure.
I'm really testing my knowledge here because then that's the sort of the age around that time where I stopped.
I think I kind of like I'd finished with it at this point.
Yeah.
Honestly, I reckon I could download that now and enjoy it.
Oh,
it was
100%.
So good.
100%.
So good. Yeah, but anyway, so that's the plan.
My brother sent me the other day, because you can get it on your phone now. You can get emulators and get the full games on your phone. And he sent me the link for it. And he was like, oh, you can download a full game. And I was like, I have downloaded it, but I was like, if I start playing it, I know it's like childhood nostalgia is going to come back in.
Do you remember a few years ago that Pokemon Go? Well,
I never played that. That was the one I never did.
I got it. This is sad, right? You're going to laugh at this. But so you get it on your phone. And basically, the idea was that Pokemon are everywhere.
Oh, I understand it. My brother's played it.
So you understand
I just
that?
never got around to it.
It was fucking amazing, right? It was the amount of like childhood memories this brought back for me was incredible. So I was going out. Do you know what's really good about it? It made people more active.
There is that.
Like genuinely made people more active because the whole point is you go on your Pokemon Go on your app and it show you where certain Pokemon are. So this is so fucking sad. I would go out for runs. And I would go to different places to run.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, if you went to like Sale Water Park near me, the chances of you getting water Pokemon would increase, etc. If you were near like a power line,
it'd be like electric Pokemon.
Yeah, electric Pokemon and
but
stuff.
want the stories of people like walking into lakes and walking into traffic
so
because they were Pokemon.
Looking at the phone.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, crazy. But I remember once, like, I was sat down and at home, opened up my phone and it said, I can't remember what it was. It was like a Charizard or something was close by and they were so unbelievably rare. So I was like, right. I stopped whatever I was doing. I can't remember what I was doing, but I just fucking legged it out of the house. So he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, there's a Charizard. I'm like fucking running through Irmston. I'm like a 30-plus-year-old guy here. Like,
but I think stuff like that, like, it's a nice little release from like when, like, because you say like you're in your 30s and I'm like 27 now, and I know if I started playing it, I'd be hooked on it. But it's just the nostalgia of it. And it's just so many memories of like with my brothers and growing up and like playing it with them and stuff. And it sounds sad, but at the same time, it is just that nostalgia.
I love Pokemon. I do. That Pokemon Go, I don't know if it's still going.
No, it is, because funnily enough, one of my clients the other week, who I was at school with, so he's my age, he was like, mate, I got bear steps in over the weekend because he was like, me and my missus were just on Pokemon Go walking around all the time. And I was like, is that still a thing? Yeah. And he was like, yeah, it's still a thing. And I was like, man, that's mad.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It does make you more active. Like, I was going out for runs. At that time, I wasn't trying to run, but I was going out and doing like 5-10Ks, and I was just like running. And I had my phone. The problem is you have your phone out the whole
so
time.
what you're saying is when we do this marathon in a few months' time,
let's
get Pokemon Go.
Pokemon everywhere.
Well, you like fucking hell, Joe. We've run 50 miles today.
You'd stop like literally on the middle of the road. You'd be like fucking, and you'd be like throwing your Pokeball like, in the middle of the road, like fucking hell.
There's just some old woman at the bus stop.
Yeah, you just like. But yeah, that was fucking brilliant.
Fucking hell.
How did we get onto that?
I don't know. Good tangent though.
Yeah.
Good tangent. What we're gonna talk? See, the mood's gonna change now because we've got a bit of a ranty one.
Oh, we have got a bit of a ranty one. Yeah.
So we're gonna chat about: are you actually too busy to start coaching or start?
Not even just start coaching.
Are you too busy to get a result?
Get a result. Get in shape. Do it. Do the thing that you've been saying that you want to do.
Yeah.
Essentially.
No. Short answer. We're gonna tell you why. You're not.
You're not.
You're not too busy.
You're not.
And I know this was triggered by both of us recently. We've had a few chats with people, haven't we? But just chatting to people and like, oh, I really want to get started with it, but... And then when you talk to them, it's like, but I've got a holiday in 4 weeks' time and I'm going away for a week. And then it's a 6 weeks holidays and I've got the kids and things like that. So I think it'd be best if I started in like 4 months' time. And it's like,
the first thing I'm going to say here,
I understand.
Get onto like the busyness thing and like the fact that you should just fucking start, right? The thing that annoys me, let's say you have, until you feel like you're going to be in a place where you want to start, that's 8 weeks away. Let's say for argument's sake, how much damage do you think you can do in 8 weeks as well?
This is my
Well,
argument.
you can do a fucking lot.
This is my argument.
So,
like,
if you're unhappy now, you're going to be even more unhappy then.
yeah, it's kind of like, okay, so the next 8 weeks might not be a clear run that you think you need to do well, which you don't. But you could come out of those 8 weeks in the same place, or maybe even in a slightly better place if you've had some help and some plans and support. Or you can come out of those 8 weeks in an even worse position than you're in now, so that when or if you ever do actually start, you've got even more work to do.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, it's like, you cannot wait until you've got a period of time where, and I hate the phrase, fully commit to it. And and don't get me wrong, I don't want to sound like a dick, because I completely understand wanting to be in a position where you're like, yeah, I can prioritize it, I can push, I can get my money's worth, I can get a great result. I get that. But you're actually doing yourself a disservice by waiting for these clear runs or times where you've got nothing on. Because, all right, say, yeah, I'm going to start in 3 months' time because then, I can fully commit and I can push. Well, there's going to be things that come up in 3 months' time, 100%. In 4 months' time. There's never going to be a period of time where you've not got anything on.
My answer when people, or my response when people say this to me is, with all due respect, can you tell me the last time you didn't have things going on? And nobody can.
Yeah.
Like, nobody, because there isn't. I genuinely, like, I'm 35 now. The last time that I probably didn't have a great deal going on, there was still obviously stuff going on, but the last time, it probably was like 17, 18.
Yeah.
And even then, you still had the fact that you had a social life at that age and you were trying to kind of like find that stuff out. So like, it's never going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's this whole, like, even like, you can use the start in January analogy, right? That's probably the easiest time, just simply because everyone's got the same mindset, and for like 1 month things might be a tiny bit quieter. I've still never had a clear January. There's still birthdays, there's still things going on. You're just not going to leave your house for a whole month. Like, it blows my mind that people think that they've got to wait for this kind of miraculous run of time where nothing's going on. And
9 times out of 10, you're never going to end up starting in those 3 months' time that you said you will, because something else will come up and you'll keep pushing it back. And it's like, and kind of what I always, I guess maybe want to say but don't say, because I don't want to be a dick, and it's not, there's no intentional fault when people say this, and like I said, I do understand where they're coming from. But for those 3 months that you're waiting to start, are you still going to be eating? Well, yeah, you're still going to eat food.
Yeah.
Are you still going to train? Probably you're still going to train at the gym, right? Yeah. So why can't you just adjust those targets a little bit to be more specific to the goal that you want, and just work around the events that are coming up? Doesn't mean you can't enjoy them. You can even if you just say, right, for the next 12 weeks, we're going to get started, or I'm going to start by myself, whatever. I'm going to start to tidy things up outside of these events. I'm going to really focus on training, but I'm going to enjoy the events. So even if by the end of these 12 weeks, I'm still in the same spot, I'm actually in much better routines. I'm in a much better position to start.
You've got a foundation.
You've got a foundation to then really go. So we literally did this with a niece who's just done his first photo shoot for his 50th. Looks incredible. And he's doing the second photo shoot at the group one in a few weeks. He started last summer, right? 2023 summertime. And we knew when he started that we weren't going to start a photo shoot prep, even though that was the goal, like we want to do a photo shoot for your 50th. We weren't going to start till January of 2024. But he came on because he was like, I want to spend the next 6 months learning how to get into good routines, getting into better habits, being used and familiar to the coaching process, and maybe losing a little bit of weight when we've got time to do it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Just so that when January comes around,
we can
dial up and we can go. And he smashed it. He's done amazingly well. Yeah. And I use him as an example when people say this to me. I'm like, well, you can wait if you want, and that's fine. I'm definitely never going to push anyone into a decision. But if you genuinely are serious about wanting to do something, this is the better approach. Use the next X amount of weeks where you are a bit busier to actually start getting used to the process, to start getting into better habits, to learning what you need to be doing and what to focus on, so that when that clear time, that isn't going to be a clear time, comes around, we can step it up much quicker and easier.
100%. And the thing is as well, again, it's just switching your perception of what progress looks like. Because let's say you've got a 12-week stint, right, where you've got a shit ton going on. So there's in my mind, there's two options here. There's either use that as an excuse to, again, kind of put things off. And I'm going to say the word excuse. It's not a reason. It's an excuse. That's all it is, right? And that if you use that excuse, you're going to be in a worse position by the end of it. You're probably going to be more out of shape, more unhappy, hate the way you look even further. And again, at the end of the 12 weeks, you're going to look for another excuse to not start again for another 6 weeks because you've got something else going on. So that's one option. The other option is, okay, let's say you've got 2 things going on per week. You've got a holiday going on. So, you've got tons that you need to navigate. Well, let's just say on the days where you can be in control, which is still going to be the vast majority of them, even if you've got fucking 2 socials per week, which most people don't, but if you do, there's still 5 days in a week there where you can be pretty much dialed in. So are you going to be in a better position in 12 weeks through having 5 days dialed in, 2 days enjoying yourself, than you would be if you just had 7 days a week doing fuck all?
And I think that's it. I think
it's just a no-brainer.
You'd be so much further ahead. And I think when people say,
and even if that result, sorry, just to butt in, even if that isn't, say your goal is overall fat loss, even if you don't lose tons of fat in that period of time, well, the chances are you've been going to the gym 3-4 times a week. So you probably built a bit of muscle tissue. Your composition's probably looking a hell of a lot better. So even if your scales aren't massively down, you're still going to be in a way better position.
Exactly.
Way better position.
And you're probably going to lose weight easier as a result of it.
100%.
Easier and quicker. And I think what it is, when people say they're waiting until they can fully commit, I think what they actually mean is the things that they've got coming up, whether it's a holiday or whether it's a couple of socials or things with the kids, it's that they don't want to sacrifice those things, right? Which I get. And my point of view is always, great. We won't sacrifice them.
Yeah.
Like you just said, we'll just make sure that whatever days we have outside of those events,
we're on it.
We have a target. We know what we're doing. We're keeping them nice and tidy. We've got a goal with them. And then when those events come, just go and enjoy it. Don't worry about anything. Don't track anything. Don't. I
use myself as an example at the moment. So obviously we've spoken about the fact we're training for a marathon. So that's obviously something that I need to think about. I'm also wanting to lose a few kilograms, just summer holidays and stuff. But I'm away this week in Cornwall for a week. When I get back, I've got 5 days and I go on a stag do to Copenhagen. So that's going to be another. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be very expensive, lots of beers and yeah. But anyway, so that's Friday till Monday. So that's another 3 days where realistically it's just going to be a complete write-off. I've then got my birthday as well at the end of the month on the 27th of June, which, listen, I'm 35, so it's nothing to celebrate really. But either way, it's my birthday. I'll probably have something going on at some point. And then in July, we've got our photo shoot, which, again, we have a massive social after, beers, burgers, beer pong. So between between now and the point where I actually want to be in shape, which is actually kind of mid-July, I can't say, but that's the reason I've got something going on there. So there's so much going on there that I think most people would say, well, what's the fucking point?
Yeah.
Because there's too much going on. I'm not going to achieve anything. I know it's going to be more difficult. Of course I do. I know I might not get everything done that I want, of course. But I also know that if I nail the days in between those events, which I will do, I'll still be 2 or 3 kilograms light, and I'll be feeling a hell of a lot better about myself.
Yeah,
it's not going to be perfect.
I think that's it. It's literally as simple as, okay, the next 8 weeks might not be perfect, but is 70% consistency better than 0%?
Yeah. I know it is just a no-brainer, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just a no-brainer. I had a client leave me not long ago, and I'm not gonna lie, because of the reasons and I tried to speak to him about it, I just wasn't bothered because, and this sounds like I don't mean it to be a dick, but one of the reasons was because he's not going to be able to train for a month because he's got a slight injury and he's having a bit of surgery, which is fine. I totally understand that, right? Obviously it's shit, rubbish, but his goal is fat loss. I was like, 90% of fat loss is going to come down to your nutrition. So for that month that you're not going to be able to train, are you going to eat? Yeah. Are you going to move? Walk? Yes. You it's not a reason. It's not a reason to. No. And he's like, I'll come back to you afterwards. I was like, what? In a worse position? That kind of, in the nicest possible way, don't.
Yeah.
You've got to understand that you've got to work through these times. It isn't just always going to be perfect for you.
Yeah. Whereas on the flip side, in our recent blitz, one of the blitzers that we had, he literally just had back surgery, I think it was. So he could not train for the entire thing. Couldn't even do many steps in the first few weeks. And over the 12 weeks, he dropped 10, 11 kilos. Yeah. And all he did was nutrition. And as his back got a bit better, he did a few more steps. That was literally it for 12 weeks. And he dropped 11 kilos.
One of the guys I've got doing the photo shoot next week, honestly, this guy's got more reason not to fucking do anything than anyone else. He's gone through, since he started coaching with me, they've been doing a full house renovation, living inside it at the same time with 2 kids, to the point where at times they've just been in the living room. And everything that cooking, sleeping, everything, air fryer, microwave, literally everything's been in the fucking living room. He's lost something 5 stone, right? That's on top of that, he's got the stress of looking after 2 kids, the stress of his normal job. He's also had loads of little weekends away and stuff, a couple of stag do's. His brother got married. So much stuff that I know for a fact most people wouldn't do anything about it. He has. And again, he's also got a back issue, so he's not been able to train for the last 4 or 5 weeks. But But instead of using that as a reason not to do anything, he's just increased high intensity cardio. He's done more steps, and again, he's lost like another stone.
Yeah.
And it's just like he is like the prime example of someone who has every reason, excuse not to do anything. Instead, he's just kind of chipped away, done the things he can do, not use these things to put him off because he knows that it's not going to get any easier anytime soon. Might get a bit easier because there's a lot going on right now, but it's always going to have something. And he's just, he's smashed it.
What can I focus? What can I control? And focus on doing that. And I think maybe, through past bad experience with other coaches, I think people might assume that, well, if I start coaching, I'm going to get told I have to stick to X thing on my birthday
possibly.
next week. Or I'm going to have a plan even when I'm on holiday to stick to. We never do that, do we? Like birthdays, holidays, I don't know about you, I just say, go and enjoy it.
I just go and enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's even when people say to me, I'm thinking of tracking, like,
no, just go and enjoy your holiday.
Go and have a good time. Speak to me when you're back.
Yeah.
Cool. Don't want to hear from you. But it is. So like I say, I know that came across a bit ranty, and I think we need to be ranty with that topic because so many people will use that as a reason, like say, or use this kind of clear run thing or so much going on not to do anything. When in reality, you've just got the thing that I say is just go and sit down and just spend 5 minutes thinking about the last time you genuinely had a clear run or the ability to focus on yourself and prioritize yourself. And I guarantee there isn't a time because I can't fucking think of one for me.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty certain everyone else will be the same.
Yeah.
So you've just got to live with it.
Yeah, and you've just got to get on with it. If you genuinely want to do it, just get on with it.
Just start.
Yeah.
Just start. Understand that some progress is better than no progress.
Yeah. Exactly that. We'll leave that rant there, and then we've just got one physique fuck up, haven't we? Last one. Well, not last one because we'll be doing one next episodes, but for the batch that we've recorded here. So I've got one. I'll put the picture of this up. So it's another article heading. Joey Swole. I don't really follow his stuff, but I know he's quite a big thing in. He slams a lot of people, doesn't he?
He's like for like filming in gyms and like curving on.
But I think it's quite
stuff.
Yeah, but he slams people for doing it. He's quite like a positive.
He's a positive guy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
he slams people for doing shit stuff, like gym etiquette stuff. So it's Joey Swole.
You'd probably go mad about the other guy.
Yeah, he would do. It's Joey Swole slams gym goer and says he needs to be banned after posting explicit pic in the locker room. And what it is this young lad and I'll throw the picture up somewhere on the screen around here. He's basically been in the gym, had his session. I'll show you. I think I showed you the picture. I'll show you it there. He's had his session. He's taken like the standard post-gym selfie, tensing in the mirror. And in the background, there is a innocent bloke, butt naked, getting changed. And he's taken a picture of him and he's posted it onto his Instagram or whatever it is of this bloke in the background, butt naked. And obviously there's been a big outrage, like saying, what the fuck are you doing? Like, A, you shouldn't be taking pictures in the changing room if there's people in there getting changed, but B, you definitely shouldn't be posting them. What goes through someone's head to do that? Like, if I am in a changing room and someone's in there, I ain't taking pictures of myself anyway if someone's in there because I'd feel like a dick.
Yeah.
And that's like, it's part of our job, right?
Yeah.
When I do it after I've trained, like when I did my shoot prep last year and I try and do my update pictures, I am like in there and out. I'm in and out within 30 seconds. I'm as quick as I can between people coming in.
Yeah, of course.
I feel like a dick. But also, like, what would then possess you to do it while someone's getting changed in full view of the changing room? Like,
I mean, it's one of them where you think, has he just missed it? But
you can't fucking
miss it.
The guy's like, you can see in the picture, the guy's
he's stark.
And I think the kid on the picture's like, he put an emoji over the guy's like private, so you can't see it. But it doesn't matter. Like,
it doesn't matter. He probably doesn't want.
Obviously not.
Him naked in the dressing room.
He's like, that man has now unintentionally got an OnlyFans page, hasn't he? It's, like, it's ridiculous. Like,
I know.
But I suppose this is like the sort of living in an age almost where people are trying to create brands at the sacrifice of just common decency. Like they're trying to create names and pages and status for themselves.
Yeah.
And they're willing to just chuck on the, like, maybe it's a bit too...
It's just etiquette, though.
Negative
it's
to
like,
say,
when
but...
I go to the gym now, like, I will rarely film myself in the gym that I actually train at, because no one else does. People go there to train and turn off from life and stuff like that. So I don't actually film in my gym. Like, if I want to film gym content, I'll go to a gym where it's acceptable. Yeah. And I know that it's okay, and I know that it's not like a thing. So it's just, I don't know, it's just like, just think about where you're doing shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, taking a picture while someone's nude in the background.
I'm
posting it more than anything else.
What a dick.
Yeah.
The kid, he's got a vest on. So he's not even like upper half on show.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.